guys, so today I'm going to be showing y'all how to make a good server on Unturned. And what I mean by a good server is a server that gives you a lot of loot without you having to sit and wait like 3 hours in one location. So I mean, y'all know I play on the new map and the way you want to do it. So we're going to use Greece as an example. So just make your name, and you hit triangle or Y depending on the Xbox. On PC, it should tell you on the bottom of the screen. It will be world options. It's the button you need to click. Just click world options. Go over to items, and don't set the spawn chance. That kind of don't matter. What matters is item respawn time. Set that to like, you don't want to go no lower than like a 4. Neutral time is how long they last in the world. You want to set that not too low, but not real high. I wouldn't say no lower than about 450. You could go 500, but about 450 is fine. Or you could even go 400. This is drop time for like when you die, or whenever you as the player drop an item, or a zombie drops an item, versus the world spawning the item. So drop item, spawn item, dropped item, spawned item. The spawned item, which is your neutral item, you want set to the lowest because you want it to respawn items that are good, that you would want. The chance, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say max all of this stuff out, because there's no reason to. Not only that, if everything's maxed out, it kind of makes your game run like super glitchy. Doesn't matter what you're playing on, it just makes it run kind of. So I would turn everything down just a fraction of a hair. Minimum battery, you could set this, I wouldn't even set it to 0, just set it to 1. And then set this to 95, and that will create a 0 battery if, you know. And it has tires. Vehicle spawn time when vehicles spawn in the map. Set that to as low as possible. It won't mean that your cars respawn or despawn or anything, no. Cars will respawn if they get blown up. You know, a group of players come in, let's say they're like a group of 4, and they loot up and they start killing each other, and they start blowing up cars, killing a bunch of zombies, and they basically, you know, cause hectic in the server. Well, the respawn time will keep respawning the vehicles that are being blown up, even the helicopters and that. If you blow up a car, it could turn into a motorcycle. If you blow up a motorcycle, it could turn into a helicopter. It's one of those kind of things. It doesn't matter what vehicle it is, it just cares about the number that's in the map. So there's a certain number that can exist in the map. Occasionally one will spawn randomly that's more than what the map should have, and that's normal from what I hear. But if you want your vehicles to last a long time, turn your armor multiplier up to 2.0. I wouldn't turn it all the way up. If you turn it all the way up, it would take a very long time for you to fix a car and for the car to get damaged. I wouldn't go no higher than 2.0 or 2.5, because anything higher than that is kind of not fun. You know, you want your cars to get damaged. Like, you don't want them to be invincible where the cars have no physics, like, because you can do that. Insane, you can max that out if you want, but I turn it up sometimes. Honestly, what I like to turn it up to is about 7.5. I like to turn down the large to about 2.9 medium, and then the small vehicles are kind of terrible on, you know, some maps, so I usually turn that down to like a 2.0 or 2.3. Try and make as less amount of small vehicles as possible. This here's your loot chance for when zombies die. You want to turn this up to at least a 40%. So let's say 40%, let's say zombie spawn rate's 50%. Do crawler rate 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%. And then depending on what you want your respawn time set to, that is up to you, I'll let you decide. I'm going to turn this one up, and I'm going to turn this one down. I'm going to turn that to 1, just 1. Turn the damage multiplier to 0.5, 0.5 armor multiplier. Full moon experience, turn that up like 2.45, no higher than 3.5, because if not, you're gonna make your server like, it's gonna be like so easy to get levels that it's stupid, and you don't want that. You want to have fun playing. You don't want to make it so easy that it's like easy pie. You want to make it where it's fun. So you want to turn all those up. Slow movement, keep that off. I searched that up. If you have slow movement on, it makes the zombies slower than the player no matter how the player is running or walking. Keep that off if you want your zombies to move fast. Animals, make sure you definitely turn these guys down. Respawn. Definitely turn your large and insane index down. Keep your medium higher. Turn your small down just a little bit and keep tiny. That's tiny. Turn this up a little bit since vehicles were turned up. This is your minimum, so set your minimum to like 25, which would be like right before you start getting super hungry and eventually start starving, so eventually your health will stop regenerating. You can do this at 30 if you want, so we'll do 30 actually, because why not? Turn this down to 40. You could do the least is 30. I like to do 40, you know, it's fair. Turn your food use ticks all the way up, virus use ticks, water, and then the broken leg regen ticks. You don't want this to be super short but super long either. You do that at about an 8.0, 1, then do a 10, do a 5, 5. Just make sure all of them have some kind of number. Damage ticks 1. Regen bleeding ticks. These here are how long it takes to regen. So experience multiplier, you want to keep this. I don't know why it's like randomly set. Do that at about a 2.5, or you can do that at about a 3.0. I like a 2.5. This is player index, armor multiplier, how much armor the player has. Keep that at a 1.0 since the zombie index is at a 0.5. Turn your zombie alert distance. You don't want it super far, but you don't want it super close. I usually like a 7 or a 6. You can do 7. Combat on death, do a 1%. Combat on environment, 2%. Death, 1%. Environment, 2%. So what that does is if you, like, let's say kill yourself from a car or something, or you fall off a cliff or something, you die. I don't know, we're just speculating. Versus dying from a player, you'll have one likely of one thing being removed from your list, which could be anything. It could be something stupid like a piece of bread, or something major like your gun. But I would keep everything at least at some kind of percent. Battery index, I like to have batteries that spawn at a 1.0. Fuel index, you can do a 5.0. Water index, definitely want to do a little bit higher. Resource index, these are like trees, how long they take to respawn. Do that at a 1.7. So I try to keep everything off on by like a few different ticks from each other, so everything runs at different times. Airdrop frequency, maximum frequency, we can do it like a 7.5, because this is like how loud you're going to hear depending on where you're at. So if you're right up under it, it's going to be loud. If you're really far away, at minimum, it's going to be really quiet. You're not going to really hear it. Airdrop speed. This is how fast it moves in the sky, and this is how fast the crate falls. The crate, I don't want it to fall too fast because, you know, I don't want it to glitch through the map. So we do that at about an 8.0 positive. I'll have it fly at about a 12.0. So what that does is it'll make it move a little bit slower, but still at a fast pace, so the cars can keep up with it and be under it, for players to be able to follow it and basically like battle with each other while they're chasing it. You know, just things like that. You know, just, you know, minimum duration, you can set that to a 1% or even a 0. Maximum duration, I wouldn't do no longer than 50. Minimum frequency, I would do, since it's rain, a 6.0. Actually, no, 5.0. I wouldn't, for building, if you were in a building, I would say a 1.0. Snow frequency, snow should definitely be quieter than rain. So, half of what rain is, I guess. Snow duration. Yeah. So, and then these I like to turn on because, you know, everybody likes these, and it's fair. So this is how you create a balanced server that runs equal for everybody, for even loot and multiplier. This is a survival setup right here. It's not too aggressive, it's not overly aggressive. If you want to make it more aggressive, right here is the zombie scale. This is how you make your survival more aggressive. If you wanted to make it more aggressive, you could turn this all up, but honestly I would keep them at a 1% if you're at a 50%, because a 50% of a 1% would be like a 2%. If you had this at 100%, you'd be to 5% on all of these basically in reality. So if we were to do, let's say, I don't know, a 70, that'd be like a 3 or a 4. So we'll go ahead and go with a 70, and there will still be chances of bosses, just very rare. And when you come across it, you're gonna be like, oh my god, you know, that's how you want it to be. You don't want it to be like. So I'm gonna go ahead and launch the server and show you. Start the game server. I'll see you when I get in. Okay, we are back. So everything should have booted up pretty well, if not fair. And this is just a reference to show, you know, you can do this to any map you want. If I was you, I would do it for a multiplayer server. I wouldn't do it as a solo. You can do it for a solo too if you want, but, you know, solos or whatever. Look, there's a deer already right there. See, there's already one of them runner zombies. And since it was a 70% chance, look at how many zombies there are. This is like zombie apocalypse setup here. And they're all short range distance, so they ain't like, you know, they all ain't gonna come charging at you unless you open up fire with a gun. Or sprint. So I'm gonna gear up. I'm gonna do a time lapse. Enjoy. I can't explain why my world is feeling so far away. My reflection, it seems so fake. When will the night separate? guys, I'm back, and as you can see, I was able to get a lot of loot. So it's all about how you set up your server, how things are done, so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, like, it's very enjoyable. Like, you can do all kinds of things if you set it up right. Pretty interesting, what did you say? So this is what the devs need to come back and do. They need to make these fuel reserves. So I see they've already been doing in-game changes. Interesting. These cars run, huh? Yeah, well, I think this is